What's up guys, Constech here, back again for another video. And today we'll take a look at one of the cheapest mechanical keyboards around, featuring a Hotswappable board and a couple more features, the Gigaware K550. Let's get started. Unboxing the Gigaware K550 is nothing worth writing home about. It comes in a plain brown box and it only contains the keyboard and a manual. The manual shows how to use the media keys, light effects, and how to disable the Windows key. The keyboard weighs at 566 grams, 14 inches long, 5 inches wide, 0.88 inches high, and 1.1 inches high when the flip-out stands are raised. It has a 1.5 meter non-braided USB cable with a plug which is not gold-plated. It's an 87 keys or 10 keyless keyboard, so it doesn't have a numpad. The keyboard is well constructed with some minor imperfections. For the build quality, it appears to be sturdy enough, demonstrated by its minimal deck flexing. The entire keyboard has a textured finish which I prefer, as it prevents fingerprint smudges. At the base, we can see the two flip-out stands for height adjustment and rubber pads to keep the keyboard in place once laid on a desk. It's a bezel-less keyboard, so the switches are exposed and makes it easy to clean. It has a very simplistic design with chamfered edges, and the fonts are pretty much okay for me. They're not the best looking out there, but they don't look bad either. Despite the cheap packaging, the Gigaware K550 is packed with features rarely found on a mechanical keyboard this cheap. Let's start off with its Hotswappable board. You won't find any other keyboards this cheap that have a board like this. I think this is a great feature because the blue switch clones that come with the keyboard have questionable quality. With a Hotswappable board, at least we can be assured that we can easily replace the switches when they start failing. Another nice feature of this keyboard is that it comes in the Ansi Layout and has a standard bottom row. This makes the keyboard highly compatible with aftermarket keycaps because most keycaps being sold are commonly found in this layout. Lastly, the keyboard uses standard plate-mounted stabilizers for the long keys like the spacebar, shift, enter, and backspace. It's not the best out there, but since it is in standard form, we can easily replace them with better quality ones. Before we go in-depth, let's have some fun and check out the lighting modes. It's not a full RGB keyboard, but each key has a LED backlight which gives substantial illumination. For your indulgence, here are the different light effects available on this keyboard. The keycaps are made from double-shot ABS plastic with cherry-compatible stems. The characters are etched to the mold and allow light to pass through. It uses the OEM profile and has a concave shape for better ergonomics. It appears that the production for these keycaps are kinda rushed, indicated by the excess plastic you'll find on some of them. It's not a big deal as they can easily be sanded. ABS keycaps also tend to develop a shine over time due to the cheap materials used to make it. Nonetheless, they're one of the best cheap keycaps you'll find right now in the market. Now, moving on to the switches. The keyboard uses blue switch clones that have no brand identifiers. It's hard to tell who made the switches, but judging from the looks and from the price of the keyboard itself, they seem to have very questionable quality and likely to fail faster than other known Cherry MX clones like Outemus, Gatrons, and Kales. I estimate that its actuation force is around 60 grams since it's a bit harder to press compared to my main keyboard, which uses scale box white switches, and have a 50-gram actuation force. Despite that, they feel pretty much like any other blue switch, clicky and loud. They wobble a lot and the stems are kinda loose, which causes the keycaps to occasionally not align. This also causes some keycap rattle when typing. To give you a better idea, here's a sound test for you guys. Just like most mechanical keyboards, this keyboard features N-key rollover or NKRO. It basically allows the keyboard to register multiple key presses without limit all at the same time. Very useful for some tasks or gaming that requires multiple keyboard presses. Typing on the K550 is still a satisfying experience compared to typing on a membrane keyboard. Though the keyboard is extremely loud, which is a trait of the blue switch it uses, it's fairly okay for me as I prefer clicky switches. But it's not suited for everyone, especially to those who plan to use this keyboard in an office setup, or to those who live with people that might be annoyed with the clicky sound this keyboard makes. The good thing is, this keyboard utilizes a Hotswappable board, so you can easily replace the switches with other MX-style switches like Outemu Reds or Silent Whites. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the Gigaware K550, and would recommend it to anyone with a tight budget that's wanting to try a mechanical keyboard. For a little less than 1,000 pesos or $20, you get a decent mechanical keyboard with decent potential for upgrades and modding, a hot swappable board for easy switch replacement, plate-mounted stabilizers, and keycaps using the more common Ansi Layout. Again, I am not very confident with the blue switch clone it uses, but at least they can be easily replaced if they fail early on. I'm putting an emphasis on this because quality switches don't come cheap, and cheap mechanical keyboards will definitely come with cheap switches. Thus, it's really hard to tell if they will last long. That's it for this video. Like, dislike, comment down if you have questions or anything to say. Get subscribed so you don't miss out on my next uploads, and as always, thanks for watching and see you guys soon.